think only YouTube. There's a... Oh, you are live.
Yeah, I'm so excited. Music club. And also tomorrow will be the literature club, but it's something more like abstract.
Open mic.
Open mic. Mind?
Mic.
Mic. Open mic? Open mic. Okay.
So in this week Parsha we have the main a lot of things. Kedoshim, maybe you heard about it. Kedoshim. So there is a big list of commandments, what we need to do and what we can't do. Very big list, and at first glance we can see the connection between things, just random laws, like don't worship other gods, and when you harvest your grain and Trauben, grapes, you should leave something to the poor man. Also, you if there is someone that can't hear, you still can't curse him. So a lot of things. And the main thing that I wanted to talk about today is about this. It starts. לא תראה רכיל בעמך, לא תעמוד על דם רעך, אני השם. רכיל, it means it's like Lashon Hara, people that are telling some information, like inside information to others that should not be published in public. לא תעמוד על דם רעך. So you should not stand on an expression, on the blood of your next of the other person. לא תשנא את אחיך בלבבך, you should not hate your brother within your heart. הוכיח תוכיח את עמיתך, you should talk and tell him that you're unhappy from his behavior. לא תישא עליו head, and you should not hide that inside your heart that you hate him. לא תקום ולא תתואר את בני עמך ונטל לרעך כמוך, אני השם. You should not revenge your people. You should love the other person as yourself, אני השם. So this is like the main principle in the whole Torah. We can see this from אמר רבי עקיבא, זה כלל גדול בתורה. That's what Rashi said here, that ואהבת לרעך כמוך, it's like the big rule in the Torah. So I would like to talk today a little bit about it. For example, how should we express this love, and to who? Is it to anyone, or what means by re'echa? How they translate here? Reche dich nicht und grolle nicht den Sohnen deines Volks und liebe deines Nächsten, wohl wie deines, ich bin Gott. So you should love like the next person. Right?
Yeah, it's very, very...
Wohl wie deines. Okay, so זה כלל גדול בתורה. So there is a lot of laws in the Torah, and some of them are more connected when we relate to God, and some of them are more connected when we relate to other people. So there's a famous story, I forget about it, but now I recall it, about Hillel. You heard about Hillel? maybe.
Yeah.
It was famous Tana, like the Rabbi, the times of Mishnah, like first century of Common Era, maybe second century, around that time. So he was very famous about that he was very calm. That was like his strong part. And there is interesting story about him. Maybe you heard about uh, the Giyur. So if someone wants to convert, so there is some rules how it works. I'm searching for it. Oh. I just
I'm just looking at words.
about.
The screen.
You can check what's going on.
Yes, but I'm afraid that I will be there. Okay, we'll check because it's something.
Oh. Lamed Aleph Aleph. So it's a little earlier than I thought. Talmud, Shabbat, 31 Aleph. Here it is. תנו רבנן, נעשה בנוכרי אחד שבא לפני שמאי, אמר לו כמה תורת יש לכם 2. So there is several stories about some non-Jewish persons, people that was wanting to accept Judaism, but they were telling that they have like the condition that demands that only if this and that, then I can convert. So one of the 3 stories it goes like this. It's connected to this rule. So there was like 2 main, at some point, 2 main rabbis in Jewish nation, Shammai and Hillel. So Shammai, he was more harsh and strict, and Hillel was more gentle, I can say. So first, this non-Jewish person came to Shammai, and he said like this, "Geyareni al nat shetlamdeni kol haTorah kula kshani omed al regel achad." So usually, if someone wants to accept Judaism, so he needs to learn books. It takes time, lessons, But this one, he wanted to learn on the Torah while he's standing on one leg. So on one leg. So usually we're standing on 2 legs. And also usually people learn in sitting, right? So it's hard to learn when you stay. It's with the short lesson. And he wanted to stay on one leg and learn on all the Torah. So maybe it was busy man, like today Elon Musk. He doesn't have time. So Shammai considered it's like disrespectful to the Torah because it cannot be learned in this small amount of time. So Shammai didn't want to talk to this person, and he just get him out of his room cabinet. So after it, this person came to Hillel. Hillel was the opposite of Shammai, and the interesting thing that Hillel accepted this person, converted him, Amar lo. So the question is how he explained Torah in this small amount of time. So he said like this in the Aramaic language, not Hebrew, Da'alach sani lechaverach lo ta'aved. זוהי כל התורה כולה, ואידך פירושה הוא זיל גמור. So he said a principle that goes like this: what you hate, you should not do to your friend. What means your friend? We will discuss right away. Zohi kol haTorah kula. So this is the whole Torah. So he wanted to learn the whole Torah while he's standing on one leg. So this is the whole Torah. What your friend hates, you should not do to him. That's the whole Torah. The idach perusha. So the rest, of course, this is not the whole Torah. There is a lot of laws. So all the rest is like the commentary to this rule. Zilgmo. So you should go and learn. Interesting. So it looks like he was accepting a converting person before the learning. Today we're doing the opposite way. First, the person learns, and then he converts. So today we're closer to Shammai, most likely. So what means something that your friend hates, you should not do to him? So Rashi explains in two ways. רעך ורעך אביך אל תעזוב, זה הקדוש ברוך הוא, אל תעבור על דבריו, שהרי עליך שנוא שעברו חברך על דבריך. So your friend, it's like the euphemism of God. So your friend means your God, so you should not do what your God hates. So this is like the main principle, and what God hates, you should learn it. So that's the first explanation, but it's not really connected to our theme. But the second explanation, it's connected. Lashon acher chavercha mamash. So the second explanation, your friend means exactly your friend. For example, what it means, כגון גזלה, גנבה, ניאוף ורוב מצוות. If your friends have some property, so you should not steal it and take it without permission. Or for example, if your friend have a wife, so you can't have your wife's friend, ניאוף ורוב מצוות. And there is a lot of mitzvot that works with other people and not connected directly to the God, but they meant to create society balanced, we can say, right? So a Jewish nation, after they exited Egypt, so they need to enter Eretz Israel and they need to create society. So there's rules how we can maintain like healthy society. So that's the main rule. That it's a famous saying also about the freedom. Your freedom ends where the freedom of the other person begins. It's very similar to this saying, right? So other person have a right to have property of his own, so you cannot take this right from him. That's the main principle. So a lot of commentators, they discuss how it's connected to this saying about that you should love your neighbor, the other person as yourself. And why Hillel, instead of positive, he said it in negative. He didn't say that you should love the other person and you should learn how to love. For example, he said that what the other person hates, you should not do it. And what is it? You should learn the details. It's very interesting. So if Torah demands love, so the question is how we should express this love. So from this Gemara, for example, we can see that Torah is not really describing how to express love because someone expresses it in his own way and the other person have different style. of love, it's very like thing not hard to specify. It's very there is a lot of variety within love. Maybe that's why when we're talking to someone that wants to convert, we need to speak about more details, more practical things. So also maybe love is more like a universal thing. So when someone wants to convert, so he knows already what is love and how to love, but he just need to learn the Jewish law. So the Jewish law based on this principle that you should not destroy like other person place and his property. Interesting. So there's like the restriction and there's positive things. Also, if we're talking about God, so there's also a mitzvah to love God that we say in Shema every time, every day. So, for example, we can compare mitzvah to love God and to love the other person. Is it the same way, the expression of love, or it's different ways? I don't know.
Okay.
Didn't think about it before. ואהבת את השם אלוהיך בכל אורך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. You should love your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your מאודיך. It's hard to translate. נכסים, with all your property. Property, имущество. ממון, רכוש, נכסים. In German, Vermögen.
It's like property.
Oh, it fits.
Yes, you just translate.
Yes. So before we connect these two themes, Rashi, you learned us. Maybe you have some experience learning Rashi on Chumash. No.
I don't think.
Because it's interesting that Rashi he like quotes a lot of midrashim or from oral Torah, a lot of sayings, but he doing it in a short way, and a lot of times he didn't quote the whole thing. So I opened the whole midrash. It's in several places. It was there. Here. So what Rabbi Akiva said, what Rashi quotes, it's one saying, but there is like the other Rabbi that kind of contradicts it. So we will read it. ואהבת לרעך כמוך, רבי עקיבא אומר, זה כלל גדול בתורה. That's what Rashi quotes. You should love the other person as yourself. So Rabbi Akiva said that this is a big rule in the Torah. בן עזאי אומר, זה ספר תולדות אדם, זה כלל גדול מזה. That's interesting. So Ben Azai quotes different parts from Torah, and he's saying that this is even more greater rule in Torah. So we will read it and also try to understand it. I didn't open it before. So it's in the beginning of the Bereshit. So there is a famous saying that when God created people, Adam, he created in his own image, right? Tselem Dmut. So this idea that God created and every people in his own image, this is even a more important thing that this rule about that you should love the next person. So what is their contradiction and what is the discussion? So when we read here, it says, "Lo tikom v'lo titor et bnei amecha ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha ani Hashem," that you should not revenge to the people of your nation. So when it goes after that you should love, so we can also see it as it talks mainly about like your community, your close people, right? So the question is it relates also to other persons that is more distant from you? So this is what Ben Azai said, that that every person was created in the image of God. So that's why you should love everyone and not only the people of your nation.
I really agree with this idea because yes, I want to share yes about my thoughts about this. It's because it's I don't remember how it's. But I would like to try to explain. It's about the fire of искры Всевышнего.
Oh.
Like I really love this. I like this idea because it's every person. It's like a part, a little piece of God. Yes, and this idea it's we can in all, not all, but the most of people see something good and something very powerful also. A lot we have seen it because every person have this piece of God. Yes, it's like a fire, a little fire, how искра, как это сказать. Little fire. Yes, and this moment also about it, it's how я забыла, с чего я это начала, что там было про хейт или про любовь. Вот. Какой последний момент?
No, so the image of God.
Yes.
So if you
yes, in the most of us, yes, is continue of God.
Yes.
Yes, it's I say that the most because now we know some people who I can't understand this process.
That's why I wanted to talk about it.
Yes, wow, very interesting. Yeah.
What you can't understand?
I can't. In the way to in the process to Lag BaOmer, we have some weeks to make us better, maybe. Yes, and one of these weeks it's about так сказать, суд
Court, Beidin.
Beidin, yes, and not every, but a lot of people want to do it about all things. It's like a something, как это сказать, защита нашей психики,
Defense.
Как?
Защита defense.
Defense of our психика. В моем институте меня psycho, our measuring our head something inside. It's like a defense. Defense of our.
What do you want to say? I just don't understand it.
Хочу сказать, что вот в эти дни Lag BaOmer есть, мы как бы занимаемся исправлением качеств характера, можно так тоже посмотреть на эти дни, да. И есть вот такое, как мера суда, то, что в каждом из нас есть желание посудить. Типа это сделал не так, это сделал неправильно и так далее. я сделал неправильно. Также вот люди, о которых мы как бы сейчас негласно говорим, хочется сказать, что они такие плохие, в общем-то, так и есть. Но просто я хотела сказать, что это качество, оно очень важно. Но тоже, как и во всем, нужна мера. Да, то есть мы как бы
So,
исправляем себя. Чем больше мы можем не судить в каком-то
here the
смысле.
opposite of love is hate and revenge. And Rosa talks about something in between when you judge other people. So you say this one is
we
good
can
and this one is
judge,
bad.
yes.
It's not that you revenging or you hate someone. You're just saying this one is a bad person. So what about it?
Judge, yes,
Judge.
yes. And we won't do it because it's something like это как сплетни по эффекту.
So when you
Эффект,
judging someone, so you like denying that he was created in the image of God. That's your idea.
It's also, but it's more deep than I want to say. Yes, it's like как сплетни.
רכילות,
רכילות, yes.
זאת לרכיל, חירום טרגר.
Hearing further in English.
Kreisen.
A person who
Yes,
keeps
talk about some person.
tragen. It's like to carry something.
Carry. It's like a person who talk about person that he do this one and he's hard. Something bad about someone.
I don't know. Maybe.
Ich nicht als ein Verleumder.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, and I want to
Verleumdung is better.
explain about it.
This is better
When
translation.
we judge, it's like this. It's like this.
No, but here I'm telling to someone. But when I judge, I'm just thinking inside of me. So I don't tell another person that I'm judging.
It's the first step.
No.
Absolutely. Yes, because if you think about it, it's your reality. Yes.
But I think it's more the word is more a person who talks bad about another person. It's not just judging.
So that's the topic that I was saying,
yes,
that you judge someone that he is bad. Because if you judge someone that he is good, it's like neutral.
Yes,
not
but
as
it's
bad.
also maybe bad in our rules, because if someone will hear about someone good, they can feel, like jealousy. Yes, jealousy and something else. It's very difficult rules about talk. When I learn these rules, I think that I won't talk nothing with that.
Yeah, so if you're talking to someone that hates this person, so you should not talk good about him, because it provokes.
We have one подсказки. We can hint about this if we want to tell for someone good about someone, and they have one profession, it will be jealousy, because it's maybe if someone very with consciousness and very good, he also will feel this jealousy just because they in one profession, just because it's like or maybe if it's sisters, they can feel. Yes, we can know. It's about good. Yes, it's very interesting. Okay, yes, and yes, I just start to talk about pieces that the most of us, all have this little pieces of God and this fire, and it's about, we can think about it. We can, if we know it, we can be with people in some different ways. Yes.
Okay, so what we need to do? I wanted to read it. מצווה על כל אדם לאהוב את... So how we need to express love. So Rambam saying, מצווה על כל אדם לאהוב כל אחד ואחד מישראל כגופו, שנאמר ואהבת לרעך כמוך, לפיכך צריך לספר בשבחו, לחוס על ממונו, כאשר הוא חס על ממון עצמו ורוצה בכבוד עצמו, המתכבד בכל חברו, אין לו חלק לעם בה. So everyone should love every person מישראל. So Jewish, כגופו, like himself, שנאמר ואהבת לרעך כמוך. Because it said you should love the other person as yourself, לפיכך צריך לספר בשבחו. And that's why you need to tell שבח, good things about him, ולחוס על ממונו, and be careful with his property, כאשר הוא חס על ממון עצמו. The way that you're careful with your property, ורוצה בכבוד עצמו, and the way that you want your honor, how do you translate it? שבח, כבוד. Person would like to have good reputation, right? So the way I want for myself a good reputation, that's the way I need to
write it and talk
to tell good things about the other person and to make his reputation good, and also about the property. So I am very careful with my property that it would not be damaged. So this way I need to be careful with the property of the other person, so it also would not be harmed. And the last thing that Rambam said, so like the opposite of love and the opposite of wanting good reputation for the other is when you destroy someone's reputation, and based upon that you make a good reputation for yourself. So it's like the worst case. And he's saying, Ein lo chelek olam haba. Olam haba. You heard maybe about this term, olam haba? Oh, it's not easy. So
like everything.
It's the idea. When I talked to my German teacher, she was noticed some similarities to Buddhism in what I was saying. So there is like we live here in this world, but after we die, so our soul continues to exist in some form, in some other like spiritual world. So this is the idea that if we live our life in a good way, so our soul have like the right to exist further. But if we live in a bad way, so we just vanish. This is the main idea about it. So if the person, so there is some very bad things that sages told about it, that if someone does this, so not only his will die, but his soul, it's like he doesn't have a soul, we can say. So he would not exist in the world to come. Is the custom, but it's not like our theme. The main thing, it's like the worst thing to do is to not only not care about someone reputation, and not only to destroy it, but to destroy it to make your own good reputation. So it's like the most unethical thing to do. Like the opposite of love. Because like when I love someone, I want to give him something good. But if I want to use someone for my good, it's like the opposite of love, right? So I'm not only using someone, but I'm destroying him. So it's like the combination of two bad things.
Yeah, it's not easy because this topic has a lot of details, but in the main idea, sure. Yes. Yeah, I would like to add something. It's
Yes. What is your
idea?
idea?
Belief.
Trust. Trust.
Trust. Yes, sure. About trust, if we hear that someone talk about someone, not about us, me at this moment I can trust this person because he said it's about someone. Tomorrow he can say it about me. Yes,
Mm,
every time.
interesting.
Me,
Trust.
it's like just it's. But it's not. I'm not in.
Yeah, you can say that all these details is
Yes.
about building trust. Maybe.
Absolutely. And also, it's very. I would like to say some special and yes, it's very important that trust and belief. It's very not similar, but in one.
Believe.
Yes, belief and вера, верить.
What do you mean believe? That you believe that someone saying right?
Нет, я
What
хочу
do you mean
сказать,
believe?
что вера и доверие очень взаимосвязаны.
Believe and
Поэтому
trust.
доверие это между людьми, а вера это больше в отношениях со Всевышним. Но я хочу сказать, что эти отношения взаимосвязаны. Если люди тебе доверяют, и ты им доверяешь, то в каком-то смысле это, как есть законы, связанные со Всевышним и с людьми. И вот эти два понятия, это я вообще сама придумала. То есть это то, что я когда-то придумала, сейчас вспомнила просто. Мне кажется, что это очень важная идея, что если тебе люди доверяют, и ты им доверяешь, то в каком-то смысле это угодно Всевышнему. Вот как
Нет, so there is a saying that if
конечно, это не то, что
people love some person, that means that God also loves him. Something
yes,
about
and about
this.
trusting and believing, it's also like you said, yeah, and it's not something that it's bad person who talk about someone, no, but just it's it's George, yes, George.
You're focusing too much about talks, but
yeah. What about you?
It's not
Yes, it's
the main thing here.
our balance. I'm about talk and thoughts and, and about
It's
this.
only
But sure.
one part
Yeah.
about talk, but the other part is about property. That someone have property and you can't damage it, and you need to treat it carefully, right? So it's not connected to talk. It's about respect. That you respect other person and his rights. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah. Много есть что сказать. Но это не особо относится к делу, поэтому.
Okay.
Да.
So I'm starting to. I was starting to ask you again about this whole demonstrations because in this context I thought about the hate and love. So how it how it felt to you?
What's the demonstration?
The 1st May.
It's a very difficult question because I think I think this pro-Palestinian bloc I felt really uncomfortable with, and yeah, it was very angry and maybe you could say hateful. It's difficult to explain because I'm trying to document it objective, not trying to feel something with it.
It's a professional view, yes. But it's hard.
Yeah, and what is more interesting for me, there were many people who were very angry about this blog, and They made themselves like a science against anti-Semitism, and they
Against
When-
напротив.
Mhm.
so when I talked to them,
Oh.
they were very angry about the situation. But it's interesting because I think it's good that they were angry.
What do you mean?
Very-
It's like a position. Yeah.
Because they were like defending the right thing, you mean?
Yeah, I think so. It's yeah, of course. When we talk about the text we read now, it's they also were they were talking bad about this
Yes.
pro-Palestinian blog
All
about the anti-Semitism that is in this blog. But they think they would say it's the right thing to criticize this and to say-
Criticize. Oh.
yeah, and
Wow.
to maybe to judge this also. Yeah,
I
it's
don't understand all
it's-
this. Что-то я потеряла мысль. Можно мне перевести?
Ну что, демонстрация была в
Ну,
Нюрнберге
это понятно.
1 мая,
Ага, и что?
которая поддерживает Палестину.
Ага.
А было в ответ на нее разные люди, которые злились на эту демонстрацию, потому что они видели в этом антисемитизм. И они против антисемитизма.
Так.
So when you said criticize, so
Yeah.
if you criticize something, it's you express love or you express hate. How can we
Criticize?
view it?
Yes, it's critic.
It's an open question. You can answer.
Thank you. I started. It's we knows about the constructive critic and destructive. It's easy question. Yes, descriptive is like я забыла твой вопрос. Просто слова немножко улетают из головы.
I asked
Да,
when
да.
you criticize something, it comes from hate or
Yes, if it's destructive, it's hate. It's but it's very important that give constructive critique. It's very hard. It's we need to learn how to do it because it's yes, destructive critic. It's like judge and also сплетни. В общем, это такой же эффект. Человек немножко чувствует разрядку, потому что он просто нам говорил что-то, и он как бы может вообще к этому человеку хорошо относиться. Просто это как бы вот не отфильтрованные реакции, поэтому он вот, it's like not without filters. Yes.
not thinking what you're saying,
Yes,
just to say that you're against it.
Yes. Нужно идти там и посчитать, сколько денег.
Посчитать?
Должна уже.
Oh. So what do you think? How you can? So you said that they were against anti-Semitism, so it's kind of good. But is it really helps that they were against anti-Semitism? I don't know. And how can we like? I don't want to say fight, but it's the word that I can say. How can we fight anti-Semitism? I don't know.
yeah, you can say it. I think right.
Yeah, but I don't want to use this word.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find another
Yeah.
more peaceful word.
Stand against.
Oh, stand against.
Maybe then-
That's the problem that also you saying stand against. It means that you're like in the weak position, right?
Yeah.
That someone attacks you
Yeah.
and you need to stand against. Also, people sometimes say stand for Israel, something like this.
Yeah.
Not stand against, but stand for. So, what do you think about it? Make an interview today with you.
I think it's difficult. Really. I think it's important in a way. And
Yes.
Yeah. Um, it's of course it is important that it's in a way that is constructive, so we can build something out of it. It's not just we're feeling angry and hate about those anti-Semites, but more we can build our communities better. We can talk about and learn and make the world a bit better.
Yes, that's what I'm saying about this weak position, because
Yeah.
we after the anti-Semitism is starting to think, how can we build our communities better?
Yeah.
But we should think about it before anti-Semitism,
Yeah,
right?
it's-
And not in this context. Just
Yeah, but
my thoughts.
I think it's too late.
Too late.
It's also it exists. So it happens. It happened.
Yeah, that's the point.
No, it's
I have the point.
I won't say it's too late at all, but because we have
To react.
yeah, but we have children. We can teach them before they become anti-Semites. So it's not only from this weak position, but yeah, mostly I think.
That's interesting. For example, about the hate. So we said that you. Uh, is there a justifiable hate, for example? If I can ask like this, that someone did something bad to you, so you hate him, so it's like understandable and reasonable, or it's like also forbidden. Maybe not. I don't know about the time, but it's also important thing to discuss.
You meant in the context of the demonstration, or in
Like in theory and in practice. So I'm starting like with theory. So it should be these situations when it's the hate is justifiable. It means it's reasonable, right?
Yeah.
So if someone did something bad to you,
Yeah.
so you feel angry to him and you need to, how do you call, fight back, right?
Yeah. Well, that's also very interesting because in many cases, maybe someone hurts me, but I don't hate this person for this. I maybe can forgive this person and can maybe, yeah, when we talk and maybe I can learn from the situation, create something good from the situation, and not, I'm trying not to be hateful. It's in many contexts. It's in other contexts. It's more heavy, not just to hate this people. When it's about discriminate, when it's about discrimination. It's for me. It's very hard not to hate this person.
No.
And when I try when I know, okay, it's just a person you didn't know it better, then maybe I can say, okay, I can get along with that.
You don't know the context.
Yeah.
Maybe he feel in pain or something.
Yeah, but often there are people, they know what they do and they discriminate people because they want to have people they
Yes.
like it's in the extreme way like the Nazis did. So how do we get along with it? In context maybe no sure how
Yes, how we can.
it's understandable to hate these people. But
I'm so
Что
sorry.
случилось сразу
We
у тебя?
need to do.
Что? Нужно дать ей денег?
Да.
Дай ей
Что
денег.
ты хотел
Ничего себе.
за 3 дня? Плодотворно. Да.
Что зарабатывает?
Ну,
Yeah, but that's when, if you remember, when we saw this movie,
yeah,
I don't remember if I said it, but it was my understanding when there was like this girl that had a dream, and there is another person that stayed alive, right?
yes,
Oh, so within the dream, when this young character asks, like, why God punishes us, for what, and all the children. So this woman that survived in the dream, he answers that you should not ask me, you should ask you should not ask God, you should not ask the Nazis, right? So it was like very emotional saying, and we can feel that she feeling hate towards this. But at the end, when she is already old, grandmother, so he is repeating this theme. I don't remember if she asks again, maybe. And they talking about the prayer, how to pray, and within the prayer, the question that this old grandmother asking is asking God is why it's all happened, right? So this is I've seen in it the change of like point of view, because back then she was really angry and hateful towards these people, right? But at the end, there was no hate within her. So, and he has the question, because there's like two types of question. It's like if you yell at someone why you did it, because and you don't want like the answer, you just angry and you want to release the tension, so it's not like the question to answer. But at the end, it is really a question that she seeks an answer. So she sees that the prayer is like the way to seek the answer, right? So for me, that's the point in this movie, and the main character that was changed, because she was full of hate, and in the end she is we said catharsis, like she is clearance, clear, pure. So I can see it like the goal that we need. Also, speaking about Buddhism, this is the point that I think we should be in. I don't know if it's possible in some circumstances or the other, but in like the big goal, I can see it as a big goal, because it allows to understand. Because when someone is full of hate, so it's really hard to understand what's going on. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. What do you think?
yeah. I would say I think that's too. It's a goal to keep on working on this.
So, for instance, these people that you said they were against. So, from one hand, it's important to maybe in the public relationships,
Yeah.
it's important to say that you're against something,
Yeah.
because if you don't say, they will think that you support it. But from other hand, how you say it, it's also important. So if you hate them just like they hate you, so it's called the war, right? So it's not constructive criticism, right?
Yeah, it's when I'm on this demonstrations and take photos. So then I often see this terrible, or listen to the speeches, but in contact with people, I often get in contact with the people because they come to me, they talk to me, and I try to be not hateful with them just because I'm maybe against what they say and what they do, but get along with them like they are people, and I I don't want to treat them like they maybe would treat me if they knew what I'm doing, and not to treat them with hate. So that's maybe what I want to.
It's the circle that keep repeating that. Okay. You can add something or ask if you want.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's not a very big holiday but it's not that.
Not a big deal.
No, I think it's for the most people it's not that important. You of course you have in the newspaper text about it and people talking about it, but it's not a.
It's like the reason to talk.
Yeah. But a long time I didn't knew about this holiday, so it's not that present. It's more we have more with like 9th of November. Is more about the day we.
9 November?
Yeah, it's the day when the Nazis destroyed the synagogues.
9 November. I didn't remember this date. Interesting.
and it's in Germany. I think
Oh,
more.
Kristallnacht?
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, Kristallnacht.
I don't.
7 October, some say it's like the attack, some say genocide.
Yeah.
Sad day. It's 9 at November.
I would say it is more like the day when
But it's like the start of this because 9 May is the end.
it's the end.
But also I talked to German about this regime. This so is it considered like the bad pages of history, or how people perceive it? How do you feel? I don't know. Or it's just something that's not interesting and not relevant. And
Can you describe the question more?
no, because I heard that, for example, these dates, May, so it's like the end of this his power. So it's like the start of another period of time. So it's like the end of war. Of course, if you lose the war, so it's like